Hello, everybody. Table Zach here. First off, happy Sunday, but Table Zach here to say we're going to throw to Computer Zach in just 1 second because before we get into this incredibly massive Sunday mail day, today is the day we draw for the 400 subscriber giveaway winners. So without further ado, we are going to head over to Computer Zach and take care of that. Thank you, Table Zach. We are over here at the computer, and we are going to choose the winners of the 400 subscriber giveaway. We're going to draw two names. We're going to paste the link in there. Fetch. So we are going to draw. Ooh, excellent. We can filter. I've never actually used this one. Keyword hashtag 400. We will do that. And while it gathers the names, two names will be drawn. First name picked gets the first choice of either the Prism Monopoly basketball, and then the second name drawn will get the remaining prize. And I just want to thank you again to everybody that helped to get me here. Never thought 400 would happen. Never thought 100 would happen, to be honest. But, you know, ever onward and upward, as they say. So good luck to everybody. Thank you again. Winner number one will be, the GOAT, Brandon Jensen, number one. Brandon, I'm writing this down. Jensen, I think I have your shipping address, but I will reach out to you on Instagram or vice versa and let me know. We can confirm that. Congratulations, and what a fantastic human being Brandon Jensen is. If you don't know him, you should. That is all we will say. And then, so that was number one. Okay, pick another winner. So this is winner number two. This name will get whichever prize Brandon didn't take, and that winner will be Fanboy Prime. Nice. All right. Prime. So that is written down. I will reach out to the both of you. Obviously not now, but after this airs, and we can go from there, and then I will get that shipped off to you. And again, thank you to the two winners. Congratulations to the two winners. And thank you to everybody that helped to get me here. It means the absolute world. And now, back to Table Zach for the rest of, whatever this is going to be. Thank you again. Thank you, Computer Zach, and congratulations to Brandon and Fanboy Prime, the winners of my 400 sub giveaway. Really appreciate it. Brandon, since your name was the first drawn, let me know which of these two you would want, either the Prism Monopoly basketball or the Star Wars, and they will get out to you. And then, Fanboy, I will need to talk to you to get your address, and then the other one will be heading your way. So, we're going to set that off to the side because we're going to need a lot of room because we have a lot of stuff, to go through today. And I'm going to try to timestamp all this stuff so it makes it a little easier, for everybody, because this is going to be a long video if you want to jump around. We have got a ton of mail. We're going to start off with mail that came in from another amazing mystery pack from Adam's Card Closet, and this was the slab, the mystery slab, and there was 10 slabs in which he had hidden 3 SGC very, very, very coveted graded vintage cards. Unfortunately, I did not get one of them, but I did get in for 2, and now I've just completely blanked. I remember I got one of them. The second one I got was the rookie card because it came down to the wire. I think it was between me and Beast from Firestarter Breaks. John were the last two, and there was one vintage slab up for grabs, and I was number 10, and Beast got it. And was this it? Yes, this was that one. Yes, because regardless of anything, I now have a PSA 6 Mike Messina Upper Deck rookie, and how can you ever argue with some Hall of Fame slabbed rookie card? And then this one, I can't remember who it was, but I remembered that the design on it smacked of something that I've been looking for. And I want to see which company it's from because, oh, that's right, it was a Tyler Stevenson fix Gem Mint 10 on the 2021 Bowman. Okay, who is this? Because they do kind of like the custom labels. And that's kind of what I'm looking for to bring back the Jank Hall of Fame. Pure graded X. All right, I need to look into these guys. And if anybody knows, if there's any other companies that that do like kind of custom labels, let me know, because that's kind of the fun part of it. But again, please, if you have the opportunity, oh, almost did not see it. Of course, the card from Adam. Hello, Zach. Thanks for your purchase on the mystery packs. I greatly appreciate your purchase. Thanks so much. Take care. Stay chipper. Adam from Adam's Card Closet. And honestly, when you're getting mail like this, it is hard not to be chipper because these are beautiful. This is a lead, come on. Hall of Fame rookie slab. And then this one just looks so good. The chrome shines so nice. Oh, very, very nice. And as luck would have it, speaking of the person that actually got I believe that one was the Babe Ruth slab. I think it was the SGC 1, I think. I don't know. I cannot recall. However, in these giveaways that, again, you should avail yourself of, John the Beast from Firestarter Breaks often gives away some of his custom artwork. And I have seen his custom artwork. It is amazing. And I was lucky enough to win one. And all he said was, PC, it's for your PC team. And I cannot wait to see it. Because I asked for it. God love them. They will be the death of me one day. But I will live and die, more than likely die angrily screaming at the TV because of my Pittsburgh Steelers. So I cannot wait to see this. And his artwork is just simply incredible. And Steelers, that medium, that's right, it's all spray paint. And here we go. Oh, that is nice. Oh, that is really, really nice. Yeah, love it. The old school 2-bar helmet. And fun factoid, you know the reason why the Steelers logo is only on one side of their helmet? Because when they originally took it, they took it from the U.S. Steel, which is this logo, but just with steel instead of Steelers. And they borrowed that, stole, essentially. And people were, they weren't sure how the public would react to it, so they only put it on the right side of the helmet. And it stayed there to this day because people question it. That is phenomenal. I am going to have to find a way to make sure I display this. John, that is awesome. And I'm going to be reaching out probably because he does commission work as well. I will be reaching out, pardon me, to him, I think, in the future for some gift ideas. That is awesome. Thank you. Link to him down below. Please check out the rest of his artwork floating around the community. It is amazing. And I'm going to take a second to timestamp because, again, I'm going to be jumping around. Next, part 3. So we've had the mail slabs from Adam, art from the Beast, and now we have, yeah, that's right, history by mail. It is back. And what do we have this month? Ooh, NASA stuff. I opened up the astronaut cards recently. NASA Space Task Force, Langley Field, Virginia, October 21st, 1959. October 21st, 1959. Okay, what would that be? Exchange of visits with Russian astronauts. Okay, I was like, what in the world would this be? The Russians have recently announced their man in space program and have given some publicity to the pilots selected. In the eyes of the rest of the world, it appears that Project Mercury is placed in a competitive position whether we like it or not. This, of course, sets up another barrage of unfavorable propaganda when and if the Russians achieve space flight before we do. Well, the Russians achieved the space flight before we did, but we got to the moon first. Certain action at this time might place us in a better position to gain information about their program and also take the propaganda initiative away from the Russians with regard to manned spaceflight. Suggested action is to propose mutual visits between the astronauts of the two countries with the purpose of sharing information on training and mutual problem areas. Propaganda-wise, while apparently we stand to gain a great deal and could lose little or nothing, the U.S. would have taken the initiative in sponsoring international cooperation in the manned space field. So this is everything, even down to them offering that, how they're going to spin it for the pro-us, anti-them propaganda. Such a proposal would support to our world our statements of the peaceful intent of Project Mercury as a scientific exploration with no ulterior motives. It is in keeping with the current political atmosphere engendered by the Khrushchev visit and the proposed presidential visit to Russia. There appears to be little we could lose in that practically all of the details of Project Mercury are already public domain and have been covered repeatedly in the press. The Russian program, on the other hand, has been secret, so anything we could learn would be new information. Refusal of the Russians to cooperate in such a proposal would certainly reflect unfavorably in the eyes of other countries. See? There you go, you back them into a corner. These are countries already concerned about where the American-Russian space race is leading. At the time, we absolutely were. We did find out, 10 years later. Pardon me. Timing of such a proposal is very important. If such a proposal is made, it should be done very soon before either Russia or the U.S. has accomplished a man-in-space mission. If we wait until we make the first orbital flight, and then propose an exchange, it would appear that we are rubbing it in, kinda, a little, and are willing to throw a little information to our poor cousins who could not do it themselves. This would probably do us more harm than good in the attitude with the rest of the world. Pardon me. If, on the other hand, we wait until the Russians have made the first orbital flight before we propose such an exchange, it would appear that we are trying to get information on how they did it because we have not been able to do the same thing. This would also do us harm in the eyes of the other countries. Now, more than likely, we, at least as of this moment, we can't say for a fact, but more than likely, because there's some big names that are, there's a big name right there, talking about, heading NASA. So whoever was in charge of the Soviet cosmonaut program was probably thinking the exact same thing. To summarize, we stand to gain information in an exchange of visits while giving little information that is not already known. That's true. Propaganda value of such a proposal and visit should be very favorable for us if the proposal is made from the U.S. and before either country has made an orbital flight. One way to assess the value of such a proposal is to think of our reaction and the reaction of other countries if the Russians make such a proposal first. It appears that we stand to gain by making the proposal first. Again, the cosmonauts were thinking probably the exact same thing. It is realized that there are many considerations involved in such a proposal. NASA, the State Department, intelligence, and many other government sources concerned must have vital inputs that will determine whether the proposal is not only feasible, but advisable. The proposal is herewith submitted for consideration. And let's see the brass we got signing this. M. Scott Carpenter, Lieutenant U.S. Navy. John H. Glenn, Lieutenant Colonel, USMC, so Marine Corps. Leroy G. Cooper, Captain, U.S. Air Force. Virgil I. Grissom, Captain, U.S. Air Force. Alan B. Shepard, Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Navy. Then there's something there. Walter M. Shira, Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Navy, and Donald K. Slayton, Captain, U.S. Air Force. Now, I'm curious, it'll probably tell us in this. Because we know that the Soviets had a man in space first, Yuri Gagarin. Was this proposal actually sent? And if so, did it happen before Gagarin went in space? Let's see, maybe this will tell us. Okay, the Mercury 7 memo on Soviet information exchange. We've said that. Let's see if we can get it. Yep, Sputnik. Yeah, Sputnik was the first artificial satellite. They got us there, and they got us on the manned craft. Yep, Laika. They got us on the Animal as well. Okay, Project Mercury. Okay, so here we go. A group of NASA engineers on December of 1958, the STG Space Task Group held a brainstorming session to name the new profession of space travelers. The group settled on the word astronaut, meaning star traveler, a term that had previously been used in science fiction. I think it was Ray Bradbury, maybe, came up with that term. Soviet space travelers were known as cosmonauts. Wait, did we give them that name, or did they give them that name? Interesting. Selected from Navy, Air Force, and Marine test pilot programs, the astronauts had to pass rigorous physical and psychological tests. The STG determined the following selection criteria for the Mercury astronauts. Less than 40 years old, less than 5'11" to fit inside the spacecraft, in excellent physical condition, possessing a bachelor's degree or equivalent, a graduate of test pilot school, completed a minimum of 1,500 hours total flying time, and a qualified jet pilot. Okay, so I tick exactly one of these boxes, and I will leave you to assume which one it is. The Soviet Union, USSR, sent this first person into space, cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin, in April 1961 aboard Vostok 1 for a single-orbit flight. 1 month later, Alan Shepard became the first American in space aboard Freedom 7, flying a 15-minute suborbital flight. Okay, so the Soviets... I did not realize it was that close. Aboard Friendship 7, completing 3 orbits, Project Mercury conducted 20 test flights, some using animals, including 6 successful space flights with astronauts. McDonnell Aircraft was contracted to produce the Mercury space capsule for NASA, which would carry enough food, water, and oxygen for a single day in space. Mercury astronauts were launched from, should be Cape Canaveral in Florida, and were equipped with a launch escape rocket in case of failure. Small retro rockets. Okay, so we've all seen the clips of it. Just a few months after their selection, 5 of the Mercury... Okay, so it was the astronauts of the program. Okay, makes sense. Memo lays out several reasons. Oh, that would explain the 2 names that were withdrawn. Maybe they didn't, because it says 5 of the 7. The memo lays out several... Once a manned flight was... Only 5 of the Mercury 7 signed the enclosed memo. 2 astronauts, Walter Schirra and Donald Slayton, crossed out their names and initialed next to their crossouts. Okay, that explains that. Many historians agree that this is an obvious sign of dissent regarding the contents of the memo. Other historians speculate crossing out their names and initially merely indicates that they had reviewed the document. Perhaps we will never know their true intent, as there is no known recorded history of the memo. Really? And all 7 of the Mercury astronauts have passed away. Archival markings have been left on the enclosed replica document. The numbers following the letters SS are NASA archival subject codes. The NND number at the top is the document. At the top of the document is the declassification job number. Interesting. We're eager to meet their Soviet counterparts, and some American intelligence officials even believe meetings could diminish some of the secrecy between the space program. NASA and the White House leadership discouraged cooperation. That doesn't surprise me. Oh, NASA, though, does. Despite the memo's proposition to meet before either country had made a successful manned flight, it was not until after both countries had done so that the first meeting occurred, mainly for propaganda and media purposes on both sides. Well, at that point, though, the Soviets had the advantage. They did the first artificial satellite with Sputnik. They put the first animal in space with Laika. And they put the first human in space with Gagarin. So at the time, the Russians were leading the propaganda race. The first meeting occurred when German Titov, John Glenn, and their wives toured the U.S. Capitol and visited JFK and the White House in 1962. Titov was the second human in orbit, after Yuri Gagarin, and the fourth person in space, including the suborbital voyages of Alan Shepard and Gus Grissom. The next meeting did not occur until June 1965 at the Paris Air Show, when Vice President Hubert Humphrey and astronauts James McDivitt and Edward White met with Yuri Gagarin. Astronauts and cosmonauts met more frequently as time passed. each of NASA's human spaceflight programs, Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, and the Space Shuttle, had a member of the Mercury 7 aboard. Really? Shepard was the first American in space in 1961 and later walked on the moon with Apollo 14 in 1971. After flying on Mercury and Gemini missions, Grissom died in 1967 in the Apollo 1 fire, after which Shira took his place. Glenn was the first American in orbit in 1962 and became the oldest person to fly into space at the age of 77. Space is absolutely fascinating. Terrifying, but fascinating. So we are going to set that to the side for the moment. I am actually going to pause here and get a drink because I've been talking for a while and my throat hurts a little bit. And then we're going to get back into it and start digging into this massive box of goodies sent to us by Matty Ice. All right, we are back. I am fueled up-ish. And we're going to get into... And I only took out the first stack of the massiveness of Pirates cards that Matty Ice sent. And I'm completely overwhelmed. He just recently opened the trade I sent back to him, but looking at this, just this first part alone, and knowing that there's, probably another dozen, if not more, team bags in this box, like, I am behind the curve on this one, but man, oh man, I mean, this is TTM fuel, this is stuff that I haven't seen, and it would take a long time, so we're just going to go through the first part, and then I'll break it up into other parts, and either way, we're going to be hearing a lot of Matty Ice's name, and honestly, we should, because he is a fantastic human being. And we start off with Pops. That was one of the things. And now the problem, growing up, when I grew up, I caught the build up to the 1992 Pirates, which are actually a good team. We're going to flip through these while I talk. Ooh, a lot of Pops. Love those pillbox hat. Bill Maz, that may get signed because Maz is awesome. There we go. Now we're getting into my era. This is probably all these guys. Yep, Jeff King, third base. I always thought this was ironic. A pitcher by the name of Bob Walk. I always thought that was interesting. Kurt Miller, prospect. Spanky LaValliere, remember him. Don Slott, he came over from the Yankees. That was cool. Wally Backman. Zane Smith. R.J. Reynolds in the outfield, Stan Belinda in the bullpen, Slick, Andy Van Slyke, always one of my favorite players growing up. Pity the man just does not TTM, as far as I've seen. Jose Chico Leand, Carmelo Martinez, man, I remember writing a lot of these names in the scorecard going to games. Orlando Merced, Cy Young Award winner Doug Drabeck, good signer, Bob Kipper, Ted Power, Gary Reedus. Oh my God, if you're a Braves fan, you know exactly why I paused on this man. But God help me, I still love him. Brian Fisher, Popovich. Oh, 86 tops. Ooh, Kevin Young. Was he the one that bopped the sausage in the sausage race? Was that Kevin Young? I think it was. Orlando Merced, Rick Reed. Oh, and now my Pirates PC is going to blow up. And this, again, this whole thing came about, and while we just leaf through these, I'm just going to ramble about various things, like why I cannot find the opening to this team bag. Yes, I can. I take that back. This came about in the first ever Fish Sticks Battle Royale with Sticks G and Brandon Jensen. Ooh, nice. Rick Roden. And some of these I need to get signed. That is a great Clemente. I love that. It was Paul Wagner. But it came about after I won the... Why are you different? Is that just different hue, or is that like a limited? Curious. I have to run into that. Nice. After I won the entire giant Prism box, and people were, ooh, Barry Bonds, let's go. I liked them back in the day. What are you going to do? Al Martin. Oh, it was Al Martin, I think, that hit the sausage. Rated rookie. Whoa, Jason Kendall rookies. There we go. Weird, his dad signs, but he does not, that I've seen. Bonds, and Jason again. So they said if anybody wants to trade anything, because I won this entire jumbo box of Prism Baseball, and Matty Ice reached out to me and said, hey, I'll give you a ton of Pirates, like Junk Wax era cards for all the Cubs you got. And then, yep, absolutely. Because, look at these. I'm going to have to start seeing if I can piece together something. Manny! I love me some Manny Sanguine. Still signed, still has a barbecue joint down at whatever the ballpark's name is now. The best AAA ballpark in the world. Is it still PNC Park? Who knows? Sean Walker. Bilecki. The old throwback. 87 tops. Love me some 87 tops. Jared Dyson, Jeff Robinson. So, we agreed on a massive trade. More massive on his part. There we go. Look, modern Pirates. And for the first time in God knows how long, the Pirates actually signed somebody that has potential to a long-term contract. No, it didn't happen back in the 90s or 2000s or 2010s. No, but we finally did it. We'll see if it worked. To quote Dodgeball, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for us. Is that Jay Bell? Yeah, it is. I was going to say number 3, Jay Bell. Love me some Jay Bell. He's a good autograph signer as well. Oh, Pirates for day. And this is the best part about massive. Now this, I'm curious. A giant giant baseball cards. Giant oversized and off-size cards are my jam. The 85 Donruss, Tony Pena, Bill Madlock. Ooh, that's awesome. Was that Dave? Oh. Yeah, the project may have just happened for those 3. Oh, I don't even know where I was. Oh, yeah, rambling about how the Pirates are just, what they are. The problem is the ownership. Nutting has said repeatedly he wants absolutely nothing to do with the team or making money, or he just wants to make money. And his daughters are next in line, and they could care even less about it than he does. Kutch, good to see Kutch back, getting his 2000s hit. Slick again. I'm going to have to see. I might start having a lot more Andy Van Slyke and build up my... Ooh. Vintage Pops, 81. Awesome. That's the thing. Like, this is so many memories of so many games. I used to go to a lot of games. I actually used to work at a hat table down outside of, at the time, Three Rivers Stadium. Kent Tekulve. No, I'm pretty sure he signs. Oh, so much Dave Parker, and I am not mad at that. Honus, loved this set back in the day. The old Donruss Hall of Fame ones. And I think it's ironic that, the majority... Man, these Stargell cards are awesome. It's always interesting to me that during the Junk Wax era, so many amazing Hall of Fame rookie cards that were printed at such a degree that they're really not worth much. But considering back in the day, most of these cards actually were probably destroyed or ended up in literally in the spokes of our bicycle. It is what it is. We got some Jay Bell action. Jack Wilson, he signs. Just got him back recently. He is the coach at Grand Canyon University for their baseball team, I believe. Jason Bay, tried him, not heard back. Oh my God, Gorzolani. There's a name I haven't thought of in a while. Freddie Sanchez, remember him. Castillo, Zach Duke, Matt Capps. Yeah, a lot of people that actually had potential, but they were anchored to the Pirates, which is a death knell. Starling Marte, Austin Meadows, Ed Ott. Ooh, the puzzle piece. Is that the Stargell puzzle? I'm going to see if I can complete one of those puzzles one day. Again, this is just so much. I hope, Matty, I hope you don't think that I'm doing you a disservice, but this is just so much, and that is a mustache you can set your watch by. More Slick, Roden. Love that Clemente. Tony Pena. Great story about him. When I was very young, probably 86, I think it would have been his last year. 85, 86. It would have been his last year with the Pirates. And the first year Bonds was there, because I remember there's a picture of me somewhere with Barry Bonds I remember Tony Pena had such a deep voice, it scared the absolute crap out of me. Interesting. This is James Bell. Wasn't this Cool Papa Bell? I've seen the other card where it actually referred to him as Cool Papa Bell, and that actually is one of the two Negro League teams that the Pittsburgh area had, the Pittsburgh Crawfords, the other being the Homestead Grays. And the great Josh Gibson spent the majority of his career bouncing back and forth between both the I love those pillbox hats. Love them, love them, love them. Spent his time bouncing back and forth between the Homestead Grays and the Pittsburgh Crawfords. Died very young and actually is buried in a cemetery right outside of Pittsburgh in the Lawrenceville neighborhood. Actually, up until I think the mid-70s. I love Bowman. He was buried in an unmarked grave, but somebody found it and placed a headstone for him, I believe, in 1975. So it's like it's the Simpsons meme. He's like, oh, wait, I'm playing for the Pirates. I will disappear into the ivy. And I would not blame him. So again, Matty, I really hope you don't think I'm doing you a disservice, but like I could I could yell about every single one of these players. How about that? Case in point of when the Pirates would, not sign talent. See that name? See that uniform? That's not what happened later on in life when he got to 200 wins as one of the greatest knuckleballers of the modern era. Not bitter at all. But Jay Bell's a great player, great autograph signer. Andrew Cummings. That name rings a bell, but I cannot remember. Blas Minor, remember him. Candelaria. The Pirates were such a... Hey, that's right. I forgot about old Lloyd McClendon before he took over the helm for a brief period of time. He played for the Pirates. Wally Backman, Bob Kipper. I love that slick card. It's like, he took one right in the funny bone, which is not funny. Is that Jeff King? Solid third baseman. Denny Nagel, Carlos Garcia, and John Lieber in the old tops and score that was impossible to read. We got a couple more things, and then we're going to put a pin in this mail day, and I'm going to continue the mail day, very soon, because, my God, there is a lot of stuff, and I am completely overwhelmed, but this is actually good that we have two smaller stuff. Wait, what in the world? All right, he threw me some rather big stuff here that I was not expecting. These are the Topps archives. These are... Thank you. You know what? Thank you. I owe you more than I think I can even express, because I have been digging through everything that I could find for a Vern Law card to send to him. I have it now. That is awesome. Definitely needed that, because I've got one. I wanted to get one out to him. I wanted to get one out to Carl Erskine. Dick Grote. That was a legend. You know what? I'm going to take the time on these ones, because these are just... John O'Brien, don't remember them. Obviously, these guys are way before my time, but I should know the names. Gene Hermansky, I know the name. Paul Smith does not ring a bell. Jerry Lynch does. Fred Haney does not. Who's a manager. Vic Janowitz. Itchy Nose. Dick Grote. Absolute legend. John Fitzpatrick. He just looks like a baseball coach, and probably the... he was born in 1904, so probably coach in the 1930s. Kurt Roberts, Preston Ward. These are nice. You can see if any of these guys are still around. No, he is. Elroy Face. The prototype of what would become the modern-day closer was this guy right here. Still in the Pittsburgh area. Still signs. I think he charges $5, and honestly, that might be worth $5 to send back to it, because I've got him before. It might be worth to send to Elroy Face one more time. Hal Rice, Bob Perkey, Dick Cole. These are awesome. What year archives are these? Wait. Well, that tells me nothing. It doesn't. Well, be that as it may, those are awesome. Man, Random Hot. Yay! Yager! We love Yager. I don't care what uniform Yager's in. We love Yager. Period. And, oh, no way. The O'Neill Cruz sweater relic from, I wish it was the sweater relic, but the relic from Holiday. That is awesome. Let's go. Maddie, thank you. And the weird thing is, I almost feel like, I don't know. Like, I just feel overwhelmed. Like, this, it's like when you get so much stuff and you don't really quite know how to respond to it. That's kind of where I am right now. So if I do seem out of sorts, I do apologize. But, it's just incredibly amazing. I love these Unleashed. Henry Davis. Pops. I wish I could have seen him play. Termar Johnson. There's been a lot of talk about him, I think. So we'll see. He's been in a couple of the big inserts. We'll see how he is and, too, how long he stays in Pittsburgh. Nick Gonzalez. Josh Bell. Big fan. Oh, Chrome. Another O'Neill. Wow. There we go. O'Neill Cruz. Wow. All right. I am going to be on the lookout for some stuff for you, fine sir, because you have definitely blown up, blown up the PC. That is for sure. And man, thank you so much. I truly cannot tell you how much I appreciate you for all of that. And this is just the first, probably maybe third. There's so much more, and there's so much to go through, and now I'm extremely overwhelmed, but we're going to end this here. I've taken at least rough-ish notes on the time stamping for this, what will no doubt be probably a 45-minute Frankensteinian-type video, but, pick and choose what you watch, do it in stages, but the one thing I thank you for is at least coming to check me out and giving me a little bit of your time, but more importantly, to sub up everybody that was kind enough to send me things and just to help make this. So Adam's Card Closet for the Slabs, Firestarter Breaks for this freaking awesome Steelers helmet. I've been looking around wondering where in the world I'm going to put it, and I've got some thinking to do. I may have to bring my mom in, and let her kind of show her the picture of it and see where she would put it. Matty Ice for the amazing trade, and our two giveaway winners, Brandon Jensen and Fanboy Prime. Wow, I'm probably not going to be able to talk later, but you know what? It was worth it to be here with you guys and just continually demonstrate how amazing, absolutely amazing people in this community are. It is truly overwhelming, and I am truly humbled. Thank you much. We will see you tomorrow.